Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is that time of the week again for the Power Performance Index. And, you think about this time of the season, this is week 13 of this. You would think, a lot of these teams would kind of settle into, where they are, and you wouldn't still see some of these big movements. But wow, I mean, some of the teams where they ended up at, some of these teams just unbelievable. I mean, the ups, the downs, it's one of them kind of head scratching kind of things. But we'll start out here. We'll start out here at number 32, kind of a familiar place for these guys, unfortunately. And they're still, it's still Chicago. Chicago at 32 again. They are, you probably shouldn't put them in outdoor games anymore because they are not good in outdoor games. Their record in outdoor games is, I believe, 1-5. The jerseys look fantastic for Chicago. The effort on the ice, not so much. And Chicago, it's just, it's basically kind of, wait for the draft lottery for them. Number 31. And unfortunately, kind of a familiar spot for these guys also. These guys drop one spot. And again, they've actually, won a couple of games, but they're still just kind of, San Jose. The Sharks at 31. And again, they're another one of those teams. They're just, the effort is there. It's just the results. The results are not. Celebrini is going to be good. Will Smith, I think, is a really good player. Georgiev, I don't know. I don't know about Georgiev. He's definitely not exactly had the best of years. But there's San Jose at 31. Number 30. Unfortunately, falling back again. They lost 13 straight, then they won 3 in a row, and now they're on a 3-game losing streak again, and it's Buffalo. Again, Buffalo, I want them to do good. I really do. I want to see them get a shot at the playoffs. But it's looking like, again, this is going to be another one of those years where Buffalo is going to miss. And it's going to be, 14 years out of the playoffs? I wish I could get something going, but not looking great. Number 29. Speaking of not looking great, these guys have literally won 5 of their last 20 or 21 games. I did a video on them just the other day. They broke up a 4-game losing streak, and then they come into the game today against Washington and they get just destroyed, and that's the Rangers. I don't understand what is going on with them. This is a team, again, they won the President's Trophy last year. They had the best record in the NHL last year. And this year, it's just all falling apart. The players don't like the general manager. The general manager is not crazy about some of the players. We're thinking people are still going to get traded. Shesterkin's on the IR. I don't know. The coaches under fire. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but the Rangers are, they're going to go. They're basically looking like they're going to go from winning the President's Trophy to out of the playoffs. Number 28. They've lost 3 in a row, and they've dropped 6 spots, and it's the other New York team. So all 3 New York teams are in the bottom row at 28, 29, and 30. Not a good spot. The New York Islanders are just, I don't know what their deal is either. they're struggling so much right now. Patrick Waugh is got to be frustrated, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he can, how he can turn this team around, but something's got to change here in New York, and the crazy thing is, we're talking basically about all three New York teams here. Number 27. They ended up staying in the same spot. Even though they had lost 2 in a row, they had moved up. They'd kind of moved, they had moved up. They had moved down. They still end up in the same spot. They went 1-1-1 on the week, and that's Seattle. So the Kraken stay at 27. And again, they would have moved down. But again, with the results that we've seen from Buffalo, from the Rangers, from the Islanders, Seattle just ends up staying in the same spot. And again, Seattle they've got some talent on that team. They've got Decord in goal. They've got Decord, they got Grubauer, they've got Shane Wright, they've got Matty Beniers. They've got some talent on their team. It's just putting it all together. And they end up staying at 27. Number 26, moving down 1. They went 2-1 on the week, though. But again, they end up dropping 1. They did win their last game, and that's Columbus. So the Blue Jackets are 26, and again, Columbus, they're still one of those teams. It seems like they're just going to be kind of waiting for the draft lottery, and seeing if they can end up getting a decent draft pick. A run at the playoffs kind of seems unlikely for Columbus, but there's still a lot of time left. We'll see what they can put together. Number 25, dropping 5. These guys dropped 5 spots. They went 1-2-1 on the week, and they've had their struggles this week too, and that's Utah. Utah is still there. It's interesting. They're one of those teams that yes, they're down here. They're on they're just barely in the bottom row, but they're a team that can put some stuff together. They're in a division where they can make it competitive, and they could possibly make a run at the playoffs. Right now, they're just kind of they're having their struggles, but again, they're what team didn't have their struggles this week? Number 24. Now this is a team they're actually playing relatively well. They went 2-2. They went 2-2 on the week. They've won 2 in a row. They've gone up 2 spots. They're starting to kind of put some stuff together as Nashville. However, I don't know if it's too little too late for Nashville. I mean, Stamkos and Marchessault are starting to put some, they're starting to put some points on the board. They're looking better. Saros has been great in goal. They haven't been getting the goals. And they've been kind of getting some wins, but I think when you get off to such a bad start, it's so hard to climb out of that hole. And Nashville is trying to climb themselves out of a hole that I don't know if they're going to be able to climb out of to, make a run toward a playoff spot. Number 23. These guys had a pretty good week. They moved up 1 spot. They went 3-1 on the week, and that's Anaheim. So Anaheim is at 23, and they're looking much better. They're playing much better. Troy Terry has been playing better. A lot of the guys that they have on that team, Radko Gudas has been looking good. Of course, you have Dostal, who's been playing well. Gibson's been playing decent. You've got some good young talent on that Ducks team. And now, are they a team that could maybe get in the playoff picture? I don't know. I don't think so. But, it is kind of good to see them on that upward trend. Speaking of an upward trend, they make a coaching change, and this is, I believe, the biggest mover of the week. Moving up 10 spots. They went 4-0 on the week. They're only 6-4 in their last 10, but they're on a 4-game hot streak. Detroit. So they make the coaching change. They bring in Todd McClellan, and look, there's I don't know what it is about when a team makes a coaching change, but it seems like it really helps these teams. Detroit makes a coaching change, and they're playing much better. They're getting the wins, and they're looking like the Detroit Red Wing team that we all thought that they would potentially be this year. And we'll see how long that new coach, that quote new coach smell, so to speak, that new coach bump. We'll see how far that takes them. Number 21, dropping three spots, and these guys they've had a decent season, but it was the kind of thing like they started out good, but we're like, how long can they keep it going? And yeah, they went 1-3 this week, and they've lost 2 in a row, and they dropped 3 spots, and that's Calgary. So the Flames are just, Calgary's. They've been decent. They've had their decent stretches, but they're struggling. They're struggling, and this, the kind of team I guess that they're showing that they are right now, I'm thinking is the kind of team I think a lot of us expected they would be. But it was good to see them get off to that good start. They've definitely kind of tailed off, and we'll see if they can find a way to turn that around. Number 20, dropping 2 spots. Now they went 1-1 on the week, 4-6 in their last 10. And again, this is another one of those teams that's just kind of, they're kind of mid right now, and that's Philadelphia. So the Flyers are, they're number 20. They are a team that their goaltending has not been the greatest recently. And it just, they've got some good talent. The goaltending has really struggled lately. With Fedotov, with Ersson, you hope the goaltending can hold up. I hope the goaltending can get better for Philadelphia, and they can be a better team. But yeah, right now their goaltending is just kind of, it's not where it should be for Philadelphia, and it's definitely showing. Number 19, moving up 2 spots, even though these guys have not done that great. I think mainly they moved up because some of these other teams just fell. Because these guys are just, I don't know. 3-4-3 in their last 10. They lost their last game. They just is this the kind of team that that did they overachieve last year? Vancouver. So the Canucks, like I said, did they overachieve last year? I'm thinking they kind of overachieved last year. And, Demko again being hurt. Demko got hurt again. They're just, I don't think this is Vancouver's year. I just don't think this is Vancouver's year. And they're struggling. And it just, And of course, who's at fault? Miller or Pettersson? Miller-Pettersson. That seems to be the big talking point in Vancouver. Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. They can't stand each other. Well, not every teammate is going to like each other. But yeah, Vancouver is definitely, they're kind of they're kind of in a little bit of a rut right now, and we'll see if they can climb out of it. Number 18, dropping 3 spots. They've lost 2 in a row. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. They went 1-1-1 on the week, and that is Pittsburgh. So the Penguins are, Pittsburgh is one of those teams. I think they can still be dangerous. And they're a team that I think, in the Metro Division could make things interesting. The Metro Division is, especially for third, for that race for third place, fourth place, Pittsburgh's right there. And, we'll see if they can find a way to climb into one of those spots and, maybe secure themselves a playoff spot. Number 17. Now these guys, they've been on a long road trip. The road trip, I think they're a little tired. The road trip, I think they're going to be very happy to get back home. And, the one win they had this week was actually a pretty good win when you go and look at it. Even though they lost 2 in a row, they started the week beating Minnesota, and that's Ottawa. So the Senators dropped the 1 spot, and they are, I still think they're a team that can make some noise. I really do. They've been on a brutal road trip, and I just think they're hitting a little bit. They're in a little bit of a rut right now, and hope maybe when they get back home, they can kind of climb their way back out of it, and maybe get back on those winning ways. We'll have to see. Moving into the top half of the board, number 16. These guys move up 7 spots. What a week they had. What a last 10 games they've had. 3-1 on the week. 7-3-0 in their last 10. Big win tonight. A shootout. It was a shootout win, but it was still 2 points against a pretty darn good Colorado team, and that's Montreal. So the Habs, who the hell would have thought the Habs would have been in the top half of the board at any point? I didn't think so, but here they are. They're looking really good. Really, really good. And it's the kind of thing, is Montreal one of those teams that could maybe steal a playoff spot? I don't know, but I'm liking what they're doing right now. They're looking good. They're not an easy team to play against right now. And stealing 2 points in Colorado, that was huge. That's a big win for them. And they've definitely, I believe, deserved to be where they are right now in the top half of the board. Number 15, dropping 3 spots, and these guys are just, they've lost 3 in a row too. They went 0-3 on the week, and they fell to an arch nemesis tonight. They fell to Toronto, and that's Boston. Now, Boston is always the thorn in the Maple Leaf side. Well, Toronto got a big win tonight against them. They came up short against Toronto. And they've come up short this week, and it dropped them 3 spots. And we'll see what happens next week if they can climb their way out of it. But not a great week for Boston. I expect them to be better. I expect, like Marchand, Pasternak, I expect those guys to be better and to try to get out of this funk that they're in. Number 14, moving up 3 spots. Even though they only went 2-2 on the week, they had a big win. They had a big win at Wrigley Field. That's St. Louis. Now, the Blues at 14, should they be that high? I don't know. Maybe some people might think, you might have St. Louis too high. Well, maybe. But again, they went 2-2 on the week. So, I mean, they had their moments. That win, the win against Chicago in the Winter Classic was a pretty good statement win, even though it was against Chicago, who's 32nd. But St. Louis, they have their moments. Guys like Kyrou, Broberg has been really good for him. Holloway has been really good for him when they snagged them out of Edmonton via the offer sheets. And Binnington has shown that he's really good still. And Binnington has his moments, and St. Louis kind of has their moments. And we'll see if they can keep this. If they can keep it up. We'll see. They're in a very tough division, though. That is a very, very brutal division that they are in. And we'll see what they can do. Number 13, dropping 8 spots from the week prior. 8. Just shocking to me. They went 0-3 on the week, losing 3 straight. And I don't know what's going on with Tampa right now, but man, oh man. I mean, Manischewitz, I don't know. I don't know what is going on with Tampa, what their issue is right now, but they're not playing up to their ability. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but Tampa's struggling right now, and I don't know. I don't know what they can do to climb out of that. They got to figure something out because, fortunately they're in a division that really, the separation between the top 4 teams and the bottom 4 teams is, relatively vast. But they got to be careful because it's entirely possible that if they keep they keep up with results like they had this week, it's entirely possible they could get past in that division. We'll have to see. Number 12, moving up 1 spot, even though they did lose tonight. They got shut out tonight by Minnesota, but they still ended up moving up a spot, and that's Carolina. And again, they move up because some of these other teams move down, like a team like Tampa. And it just, I don't know what's, Carolina today against Minnesota just, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. Minnesota ran their show. And, Carolina's got to be careful because they keep up that kind of stretch. They could drop even further. They're kind of lucky that even though they technically moved up 1 spot, mainly because Tampa fell so much. But Carolina's got to be careful. Number 11. Now, you want to talk about a confusing team? They dropped 4 spots, and I don't know what's going on with these guys. They look good one game, then they look absolutely like lost the next. It's crazy. And they went 2-1 on the week, but they haven't looked that great. That's the reigning defending champions. So the Panthers are number 11, and yeah, they're just, you Jekyll Hyde. That's basically what they've been. They look fantastic one game, then they look like they're just lost. I don't know. I don't know what is going on with the Panthers, why they're so inconsistent right now. But I don't know. They're the defending champions. I expected them to be, at this point of the season, I expect them to be better. I expect them to be way better than what they are right now. But we'll see if they can find a way to turn that around. Number 10. Now, Florida drops 4. These guys move up 4. Mainly because, they've won 4 in a row. They went 4-0 on the week, 7-2-1 in the last 10. And they're looking, and this is a team, consistency has been an issue. But not this week. Dallas. So the Dallas Stars break into the top 10. Can they stay there, though? Can they stay in that top 10? Can they move up more? They've looked great this week. What are they going to do next week? They're just the inconsistent play of Dallas. This week they've been fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Winning 4 in a row, looking great, moving into the top 10. Can they keep that going at a consistent pace? They're currently third in the Central Division, and we shall see. Number 9, dropping 3 spots. Now, this again, I talk about how the Florida Panthers are kind of Jekyll and Hyde. These guys are kind of Jekyll and Hyde right now. What's happening, Winnipeg? They are still in first place in the Central Division, but that's not a real big cushion. They do not have a real big cushion in that division right now. They only have a 2-point lead in that division, and they have not looked fantastic either. They have not looked great, even though they are 6-3-1 in their last 10. They've lost 3 straight. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Jets, but man, they need to figure something out here too. Because if they're not careful, they're going to get passed by 3 teams if they're not careful. Because the other 3 teams are not that far behind them, not that far at all. So Winnipeg better be careful. They better get their act together, because those 3 teams all could pass them if they're not careful. Number 8, staying in the top row, but they dropped 6 spots. They've lost 4 straight now, and some of these losses. They lost to San Jose today, and it's just what's happening with New Jersey? What's going on with the Devils? What's happening? Sheldon Keefe cannot exactly be liking what he is seeing on the ice. The Devils are too good of a team to me to be going through what they're going through here. But they're going through it. They're going through some struggles right now. They're definitely having a struggle session. And it's not great right now for New Jersey. They are struggling big time. And they got to find a way to get out of that. They've lost 4 in a row, and it's not boding well for them. Even though they still are second in the Metro Division, they got to be careful, because that there's teams behind them that could come up on them. Number 7, moving up 3 spots. These guys have looked good. These guys have won 3 in a row. They went 3-0 this week. Big win over their arch nemesis. And we'll see if you want to talk about a team that sometimes can lack consistency, but again, they've looked good this week. Toronto. So the Leafs are 7. Can they stay there? Can they stay in the top row? Can they move up in that top row? We shall see. They have looked pretty good. They played really well without Austin Matthews. It's almost like the Austin Matthews injury. You don't want to say that when you're without your best player that your team plays better, but I'd say they play way better without Austin Matthews. It's crazy to think that, but they have played much better when Matthews has been out of the lineup. And Matthews has got this. He's got this injury that's gonna be lingering with him. I guess it's gonna probably stick with him through this entire regular season. He's trying to play through it, but the Leafs are definitely a much better team when Matthews is in the lineup. But when Matthews has been out of the lineup, they still have been a pretty darn good team. And we'll see if they can keep that going. Number 6. Now some people might think that I have these guys too high. I don't think so, because I think they are on the come up, and it will not surprise me if they overtake everybody in the Central Division. And once they get there, I don't think they'll be relinquishing it. And they finally suffered their first loss in extra time. They suffered a shootout loss tonight. They went 2-0-1 on the week. They move up 2 spots. Colorado. So the Avalanche. And yes, I fully expect Colorado at some point to overtake Dallas, Minnesota, and Winnipeg. And I'm the one saying it. I fully expect them at some point to go on another big run and overtake those 3 teams. And when they get into first place in the division, they'll run away with that division. I still firmly believe that, because I think Colorado is just that good of a team. The talent is insane that they have. When you've got guys like McKinnon and Rantanen and Makar and Devon Taves and Val Nichushkin, and they got their goaltending straightened out, they're healthy. Colorado is a team that it will not shock me if at some point, maybe even within the next month, if they take over first place in that division. And if they do, they will not give it up. And yeah, some people might think they're a little too high. I don't think so. So yeah, their number 6 this week is Colorado. Number 5. Now they dropped 1 spot. They looked great today against the New York Rangers. And they are a team that, even with their star player out, they looked fantastic. They got through it, and their big gun is back. Of course, I'm talking about the Capitals. Ovi's back. He is now currently only 24 away from Gretzky. I believe 23 to tie, 24 for the record. I believe that's the count. And yeah, the Capitals are looking fantastic. They look good. And yeah, Ovi keeps getting goals. And some people honestly don't think that he'll catch Gretzky this year. I think it's entirely possible he does. I think it's entirely possible that he does. I mean, they still have 30 plus games left to go. Ovi gets at least a goal a game. Yeah, there's no reason, in my opinion, that he can't catch Gretzky this year. And I personally think he does. I think he catches Gretzky this year. I think he breaks the record this season. I really do. I could be wrong. We'll wait and see. Number 4, moving up 5. These guys move up 5 spots, and they've looked good again recently. Now, they lost to start the week. They lost against Ottawa, which was kind of not a great loss. I mean, no loss is really good, but they've responded really well. They went 3-1 on the week, winners of 3 in a row, and yeah, they're back in the top 5 again. Hello, Minnesota Wild. So the Wild are without Jared Spurgeon. They're without Kirill Kaprizov. They were without Joel Eriksson Ek for a while, and they're still putting wins together. The win they had the other day against Washington, wow, that was huge. Minnesota, it's the whole Minnesota sports thing. Whenever they look good, they always find a way to slap us back down. The Wild have not done that yet, and I'm kind of surprised. I still am kind of surprised that hasn't happened yet. I'm glad it hasn't happened yet, but they're only 2 points behind Winnipeg for the Central Division lead, and we'll see if they can snag first place at some point. They're looking really good though right now. Number 3, these guys have won 2 in a row, and they won 2 in a row, but I really couldn't move them up anywhere. They stay in the same spot. Edmonton, they were number 2 at one point, but they ended up falling back to number 3. And again, the Oilers, they're looking good. It's just the 2 teams that are ahead of them are just playing out of their ever-loving minds right now. And, the Oilers, they're looking good. McDavid, Draisaitl, Skinner in goal. Nurse has been doing good. The Oilers have been looking really, really good. And again, we'll see if they can keep this run going. We'll see if they can, find a way to compete with the top of that division. The top 2 teams, though, in that division are playing some fantastic hockey right now. Number 2, they went 3-0 this week, 6-2 in the last 10. They've won 4 in a row. They moved up 9 spots from the week prior. Look out for these guys. Who would have thought? Honestly, who would have thought the LA Kings LA Kings in the top 5, sure. Top 2? I didn't think that. Excuse me. But there they are. They're looking fantastic right now. They are an unbelievable team right now. Byfield, Doughty, Kopitar, Kemper in goal. Kemper's been really good in net. And the Kings are they've looked really good. They have had a good little run, and they are second in the division, and they are looking like they are looking like a team that could be very tough to play in the playoffs. Kind of like number 1. And these guys are number 1, I believe. I believe this is the 3rd week in a row for these guys at number 1. Is there any surprise? Vegas, of course. The Golden Knights are incredible. They lost a game. They come back. They win another 2 in a row. They went 3-1 this week. And yeah, Vegas is looking. They look like the best team in the league. They look like the best team in the league for a reason. And it's crazy when you look at that. The top 3 teams on this week's Power Performance Index are all from the Pacific Division. Crazy how that works. Crazy. And yeah, so Vegas, can somebody knock them out? Can somebody knock them out of first on maybe next week's Power Performance Index? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, though. What do you think about the index this week? And what teams do you think I moved up too high? What teams do you think I may have dropped too low? What teams do you think are maybe right where they should be? Let me know in the comments section below. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and, if you want to share this video, go share this with your friends, with your family. Tell your friends, tell your family about the channel. Send them this way. I would love to have every hockey fan of the world be here as a part of this channel. That would be absolutely fabulous. And yeah, so let me know in the comments section. What do you think about this week? How crazy do you think I am? Am I absolutely out of my mind with where I have some of these teams? Certainly could be. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know. Let that comment, light up the comment section. Let it fly. And yeah, hit like and subscribe. Share this video with anybody you would like. And I will see you guys again very soon.